tomorrow night, exclusively on the WWE Network or on traditional pay-per-view, one of the most highly anticipated network specials slash pay-per-view events in recent memory due to a lot, and I do mean a lot, of major news coming out on the dirt sheets and Derek Ferrera's sportsblog.com. Oh man, tomorrow night, Battleground cannot get here fast enough. Hello, friends. It is Anthony Florio here. It is ridiculously over Anthony Florio here with you for this Battleground preview edition of the Wrestling Forum. I do apologize for the very late start here tonight. Well, for one thing, Michael Bullock had a late night, as always. And but more importantly, had a couple of issues on my end beyond my control. But thankfully, they've been taken care of miraculously. So here we are. We initially thought we weren't going to have a show tonight, but thankfully, like I said, miracles do happen, my friends. That's what they sure do. So don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. So yes, here we are, Battleground preview show. This is a highly anticipated preview show. I mean, Michael Bullock and I, we've been thinking about this, basically for the latter part of the last 24 hours, ever since we wrapped up Strictly Sports. But here we are, here and now. Battleground will be live tomorrow night from the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis, Missouri, exclusively on the WWE Network or on traditional pay-per-view, however you decide to roll. Not really much on the card, to be honest, considering there was one scheduled match was supposed to take place, but unfortunately, due to an injury, it will not be taking place. That was the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship triple threat match, and that is no longer going to be the case. So as of now, we have 6 matches on the card, and we're going to go in the order that Derek Ferrera went in on his preview blog, courtesy of his sportsblog.com, which both of us strongly recommend you read. And by both of us, I'm in the Yes Movement. Joining me here, the Phenom, Mike Bullock here. So without further ado, let's get into it. I mean, we'll don't worry, we'll get into the good stuff soon enough. But of course, we have the pre-show match. Of course, the battle for the crown, R-Truth versus King Barrett. And I'll just say it like this: we're very thankful that this is not on the main card because this whole feud has been very silly, very pointless, and nothing good has come out of it. But I am going to go. I have this bad feeling R-Truth's going to win this thing. You heard what I mentioned. You heard what I said the other night on the Wrestling Forum. I said that, I went back in time. You all remember. We could have a situation where we could have where the crown could change hands. I mean, we've seen it twice before, both in 1989. We all remember King Duggan, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He took the crown off of King Haku. And then a couple months later, Hacksaw Jim Duggan loses the crown to the Macho Man Randy Savage, thus becoming Macho King Randy Savage and Sensational Queen Sherry. And they reigned for 2 years. And then, of course, it all ended at WrestleMania 7 when he lost in that 5-star classic of a career-threatening match against the Ultimate Warrior. And like I said, one of the 10 greatest matches in the history of WrestleMania, as far as I'm concerned. So, but nonetheless, I expect this match to be a train wreck and a cluster bleep. And I hate to say it, but I got this very bad feeling they're going to put the crown on R-Truth. And it's a damn shame. I mean, something as prestigious as the King of the Ring is about to become a damn joke. And we here at the Wrestling Forum think it's completely unfair, not to mention pointless, unnecessary, unacceptable, borderline reprehensible, and irresponsible. And this can only be attributed to 2 men. Well, yeah, normally I would say 1 man, but it's 2 men. Mr. McMagma, as always, and our newest member of that club, Dinkelberg. So that's all there is to say about it. So,
Dinkelberg.
Amen to that, boys. So with that said, R-Truth's going to win this thing. I wish they would keep it on Barrett, but unfortunately, there's the as I always like to say, with our luck, R-Truth's going to win this thing. So I hate to say it, but R-Truth's going to win this thing. So get ready for a new king tomorrow night. Oh, Lord help us. So with that said, Michael Bullock, your thoughts on this?
Yes, of course. Hello, friends. This is the Phenom Mike Bullock here for our big Battleground pay-per-view preview edition of the Wrestling Forum. One of the most eagerly anticipated pay-per-views in a while because of all the stories we've heard from the dirt sheets leading up to this. But we'll get into the good stuff as we go along this preview. Uh, but yeah, as the for the preview show match. I'm not going to waste my time on this. I'm just going to go on the record and say, unfortunately, R-Truth, I think, is going to win this and take the crown from King Barrett, or the soon-to-be former King Barrett. So, yeah, not really going to waste more time on this pointless and unnecessary nonsense. So with that being said, Florio, let's just get on to the main card and the first match on the main card that I'll talk about.
Yep, you'll be leading off on it. And hey, you got a good one here. It's going to be the hometown hero, the Viper, Randy Orton, going one-on-one with the Celtic Warrior and Mr. Money in the Bank, Sheamus. So, Michael Bullock, hey, you got a good one to lead off on. So, what are your thoughts on Orton and Sheamus?
Boy, this is going to be a really good one. Of course, Randy Orton is going to be fighting in front of his hometown crowd in St. Louis, Missouri, and you know when that music plays, the crowd in the Scott Trade Center is going to be going nuts for Randy Orton. So all I can say is, Sheamus, you may be Mister Money in the Bank, but you are public enemy number one in St. Louis, Missouri. So yeah, this should be a good match, even though the IWC is probably pissing on this because they've seen this a lot before when it comes to these two. But but come on, I mean, I still think this is going to be a really good match. I mean, yeah, I do get it. We've seen this many times, but you never know. I mean, it won't be anything really special, but it could be something really good. But we'll have to wait and see. So as far as who I think's going to win, I mean, as much as I want to see Sheamus win, because of course he is Mr. Money in the Bank, I mean, I have to go with Randy Orton in this one because, I mean, it's his hometown. I mean, you can't have him lose in front of the home crowd. I think that would be a little bit pointless, if I'm going to be quite honest here. So yeah, so give me Randy Orton to win in front of the home crowd. So with that being said, Florio, I give it to you.
Yeah, you make a great argument about Randy Orton being in the hometown. I mean, last time we saw such a thing was 2 years ago at Extreme Rules when Randy Orton went up against the Big Show in that Extreme Rules match, which Randy Orton won. And and I know a lot of you will never forget the recap show that we did that night, where Michael Bullock severely underscored the bout, and Michael Fletcher and Derek Ferrer absolutely, went.
I got torn to shreds on that one, which I
Oh,
still regret to this very day.
yeah, I remember. I'll never forget it too. I mean, I'll never forget Fletcher saying, "Are you serious, bro?" Yeah, I'll never forget that. Oh man.
Yeah,
But
and I wish I could
nonetheless,
go back to that night and redo that. That's the rating I did for that match.
yeah, you gave it like 1.25 to 1.5 stars, and they just ripped you to shreds. But nonetheless, Orton won the match. Orton won the match, and but even though Orton is in the hometown, I mean, just because you're in your hometown doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go over all the time. I mean, case in point, Natalia. I mean, a night that I want to forget personally, Memorial Day. I believe it was 2012 Memorial Day, where she got buried at home by the Bella Snobs, which you remember that rant I went on. I went on a major rant that night. I mean, I know nobody will ever forget that either. But that's just a case in point where just because you're in your hometown doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna, you know, get the Duke. But if you read Derek Ferrera's sports blog, um, there may be bigger plans in store for the Celtic Warrior later in the night, if you know what I mean. So, because he's got a golden briefcase, let's keep that in mind. So, with that said, Orton needs a win. I mean, I can't remember the last time Randy Orton won a significant match. It's been quite a while for him, because he's been on vacation.
WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, Mania. That's right. When he went over Rollins. That's right. Um, he hasn't yet. That's the last significant win he got when he beat Seth Rollins, with maybe the greatest RKO he ever did. But nonetheless, I think Orton will go over because I do think they may have bigger plans in store for Sheamus later in the evening. So I'm going to go with Randy Orton. I'm going to take a chance here. I'm going to go with Orton, just like Michael Bullock said. So I believe Derek Ferreira has Randy Orton here. So yeah, I think yeah. So let's move on. WWE Tag Team Championship on the line. The Primetime Players defending against the New Day. Could be a sleeper fight of the night here, if I'm being quite honest. We don't know which two members of New Day is gonna take it. Derek thinks it's gonna be Kofi and Big E. I think that's how it's gonna be. I think Kofi and Big E are gonna be the two men representing New Day, and Xavier Woods will be on the outside. Primetime Players really haven't been clicking as tag champions. I mean, I know there are some fans who enjoy them, but it's very tough. I mean, there is a part of me, my gut is telling me that the Primetime Players are going to successfully defend the title. That's my gut instinct. But my heart is telling me that the New Day could go over and capture the tag team titles, and perhaps start a summer feud with the Luchas. You never know, because remember we've seen the New Day and the Luchas go at it quite a few weeks on the TV. So and the Luchas have been getting over. So if you're going to put the tag titles on the Luchas, which I think is going to happen very soon, it would make a lot of sense to take them off of a heel tag team like the New Day. So I'm going to take a chance here, and I'm going to say the New Day are going to win this match, and the New Day are going to regain the WWE Tag Team Championship due to heel shenanigans, thus setting up that summer feud with the Luchas, Sin Cara and Kalisto. So would I be surprised if the Primetime Players went over? Absolutely not. But thing is, with after reading Derek's sports blog, I can definitely see that happening. So I'm gonna take a chance, and I'm gonna go with the New Day to regain the tag team titles. So, and if I'm wrong, hey, I'm wrong. I'm used to it. So with that said, Michael Bullock, your thoughts on this tag title rematch?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why not many people have been with the Primetime Players as the WWE Tag Team Champions, but hey, they've only held it for a little bit. I mean, but hey, I mean, at least give them a chance. But yeah, unfortunately, I got to agree with you. I mean, I think the New Day is going to retain they're going to regain those tag team titles due to some heel shenanigans. Of course, with Xavier Woods with the outside interference. So yeah, but I mean, it still could be a good match. I mean, good, not great. So yeah, really got nothing else to say. You pretty much touched on everything. So give me the New Day to win, and once again, be your WWE Tag Team Champions. Florio, let's move on to the next match, which I will talk about.
You got a good one, and you get another good one here, Michael Bullock. It's going to be Roman Reigns going one-on-one with Bray Wyatt. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about I mean, this is another fight I'm really looking forward to here. I mean, you've had basically Bray Wyatt, who's basically been in the head of Roman Reigns with all those little scary trickery stuff that he does. I mean, with of course, I mean, Roman Reigns basically thought he had Bray Wyatt with a Superman punch, but of course it didn't turn out to be Bray Wyatt, and he showed up on the Titantron, and of course him showing pictures of Roman Reigns and his daughter, saying that I'm a little teacup, short and stout, and well, finally Roman Reigns got the upper hand last week on Raw. So yeah, so very tough one here for me to call. So to me, I'm gonna have to go with Bray Wyatt in this one because, well, basically because Roman Reigns got the upper hand, and of course, you know the old thing, booking 101. Roman Reigns got the upper hand, so you know Bray Wyatt, I think, is going to go over on Roman Reigns, and what I think could be a very good match. Of course, we'll have to wait and see on that. So give me Bray Wyatt to win this match. I mean, I really do want Roman Reigns to win, but I get this feeling Bray Wyatt's going to win. But hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So what? I mean, I've been wrong many times before. So give me Bray Wyatt to win this one. Florio, it's yours.
Yep. Yeah. Normally Michael Bullock, we usually agree on everything, almost damn near everything. But this is one time where I am respectfully going to have to disagree with you in this case.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that.
Yeah, I got to go. I have to go with Roman Reigns. Would I be surprised if Bray Wyatt won? No, I wouldn't. And let's face it, he definitely needs a win. There's no question. He needs it a lot more. But at the same time, though, however, Roman Reigns, his last, we talk about Randy Orton being in a, hasn't won how he hasn't won a significant match since WrestleMania when he went over Rollins. But what about Roman? I mean, his last significant win on a pay-per-view network special was at Extreme Rules when he went over the Big Show in that last man standing match, which surprised the heck out of all of us. We didn't think that thing was going to be any good, but oh man, did it surprise us. I mean, that thing ended up being damn near the fight of the night when it came to Extreme Rules at the end of April. But nonetheless, Roman Reigns, I got this feeling they're going to have him get the revenge here because remember, it was Bray Wyatt who cost Roman Reigns the Money in the Bank briefcase at the Money in the Bank event last month in Columbus. So, but what I do know is this is going to be a very good match. I think this is going to be one of the top 3 fights of the night. I think it's going to be the 3rd best fight of the night, if I'm being honest. That's just how I feel about it. And, I mean, honestly, Bray Wyatt needs to win more. But if I'm going to be quite honest as to who I think is going to go over, it's got to be the master of the Superman punch. It's got to be Roman Reigns who goes over here. So yeah, I'm going with Roman Reigns. So that's that. So with that said, let's move on to our next match. And I get to lead off on this bad boy. United States Heavyweight Championship on the line. John Cena versus Kevin Owens. Cena Owens 3. Let's not kid ourselves, folks. This is going to be the fight of the night. I really feel it. If their previous 2 matches haven't been any indication, well, my friends, we're going to be in for another 5-star classic. You heard it here first. Elimination Chamber, 5-star classic. Kevin Owens goes over. Money in the Bank, another 5-star classic. But that match ended up being better than the Chamber match was. Even though John Cena went over, it was still the fight of the night. And we thought it was going to be the match of the year. We didn't think any other match was going to top it. Well, guess what? One match topped it. And it happened on Monday Night Raw in Chicago a couple of weeks ago when John Cena and Cesaro met for a 2nd consecutive week. And those 2 gave us a 5-star classic. And in my opinion, and I know in Michael Bullock's opinion as well, the fight of the year for 2015. Because that thing was absolutely unfreaking believable. 5-star classic from start to finish, man. Unreal. 30 minutes. Wow. Unreal. That's uncharted territory for a Monday Night Raw match. But nonetheless, there's a part of me that thinks Cena might go over here. But at the same time, Kevin Owens. This is another gut-heart situation. My gut is telling me Cena, but my heart is telling me Kevin Owens is gonna go over, and Kevin Owens is gonna capture the United States Heavyweight Championship. I really feel it, and I also feel it's gonna be another 5-star, and we're looking at easily another match of the year candidate. We'll have to wait and see how it goes, but now that Intercontinental triple threat has been scrapped due to Ryback's injury, I think there's a very significant chance that we're going to get some significant time added to this fight. I really do. I think we could be looking at a 20, 25-minute, hell, we could be looking at another 30-minute match here. How freaking awesome would that be? But John Cena, he won the title at WrestleMania. He's defended it, darn near every week, courtesy of those epic United States Championship Open challenges, which has been the best thing to happen to the United States Heavyweight Championship in a long time. You remember I posted the graphic on Monday night on the Wrestling Forum, all those old school United States Championship belts. Yeah. Why did I do that? Because let's face it, the prestige and the credibility of the United States Heavyweight Championship for the first time in a very long time is back. Derek Ferreira made a great point about that in one of his recent sports blogs, talking about Kevin Owens and how he's benefited from John Cena's rejuvenation of the United States titles. So, Cena's had a nice run with it, but I think his time is up, and I think Owens' time is now. I got Kevin Owens going over, and I have Kevin Owens walking out of Battleground, the new United States Heavyweight Champion, and perhaps one of his first feuds, if not his first feud, his first title defense, most likely, I think it's going to be Cesaro. But not just Cesaro. There's also Rusev. Rusev's now in that mix, obviously. Derek also thinks that maybe Dean Ambrose should be in the mix. Maybe even Dolph Ziggler after Dolph Ziggler comes back from injury. So we'll have to wait and see. But the bottom line is the United States Heavyweight Championship means something again. It's about damn time. The title that has been held by so many legends and so many Hall of Famers, from Harley Race to Ric Flair to the late great Dusty Rhodes, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the Stinger. I mean, another late great Eddie Guerrero, who was the first man to hold the WWE incarnation of it. So, yeah. Regardless of who comes out of tomorrow night's match, you can rest assured, my friends, that the United States Heavyweight Championship is still going to mean as much today as it did all the way back in yesteryear. Winner and new United States Heavyweight Champion in another 5-star classic of a match, Kevin Owens. Fight, Owens, fight. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, this is definitely going to be the fight of the night. And could we see another 5-star classic? It wouldn't surprise me. Could it top? The last two matches that we saw between these two. Of course, first off at Elimination Chamber, and then of course at Money in the Bank. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But as far as who I think is going to win, it's a toss-up for me. But if I'm going to be quite honest, I think it's Kevin Owens' time. I think it's time for him to win that United States Heavyweight Championship. I mean, no disregard to John Cena. I mean, he's been a great United States champion. But I think it's time for him to drop the belt and give it to Kevin Owens. And all I can say is Kevin Owens' time is now. So, really got nothing more to say except, Florio, let's move on to the next match, which I will talk about.
Oh, yeah. And what a match you've got here, man. The main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Here we go.
The champion, Seth Rollins, defending against the challenger and former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the Beast Incarnate, the 1-21-1, Brock Lesnar. Michael Bullock, how do you follow that?
Well, this is the one everyone's talking about. Lesnar and Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, we know what's been going on between these two. Of course, after Rollins beat Dean Ambrose, Rollins was probably thinking, all right, who am I going to get next? Well, he got a one-class ticket to Suplex City, bitch. Yep, the Beast Brock Lesnar returned, and of course now he's gonna be facing. It's gonna be Rollins and Lesnar. And it's been back and forth, of course. Rollins with the planned attack with the reuniting of the Authority, against Brock Lesnar, and then Brock Lesnar destroys J&J Security's car, and of course, and ended up destroying J&J Security, breaking the arm of Jamie Noble, and also taking out Joey Mercury. And then, of course, this past Monday, Kane ended up getting his ankle broken. So, yeah, so, and then, of course, I can't wait to talk about this one. The wild card in this one. The possible return of a certain phenom. Yes, The Undertaker. He could be making his return at Battleground. And, of course, the reason why the last few weeks we've been hearing the name of The Undertaker, of course, this just like this past Monday on Raw, when Paul Heyman referred to Kane as The Undertaker's baby brother. And then, of course, the dirt sheet started going out that The Undertaker is going to return at SummerSlam. Well, I can tell you this, Florio. I just got a Facebook message from Derek Ferreira, and I can confirm that the dead man is in St. Louis. So I think he's definitely going to return, and here's how I see this happening. Brock Lesnar hits the F5 on Seth Rollins, and then you're going to hear the famous gong. The lights go out, and then when the lights come back on, who's right behind Brock Lesnar? The Undertaker. And then he'll choke slam him and give him a tombstone pile driver. And then I wouldn't be surprised too, he hits a choke slam on Seth Rollins. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens too. And after he takes out both men, now here's another thing I think is going to happen. A certain man with a Money in the Bank briefcase, Sheamus, comes out. He pins Seth Rollins, and he becomes your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So what's going to come out of all this after this? Well, Sheamus will be your new champion, but it'll set up for Undertaker, Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, which would mark the dead man's first match at SummerSlam since 2000. Well, of course, the last time he appeared at SummerSlam was 2010 as part of that feud, of course, with Kane. But the last time we saw him in a match was, of course, 2008, when, of course, he beat Edge in that unbelievable Hell in a Cell match. So of all the things, Sheamus is going to be your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion because of that cash-in. So that's what I think is going to happen. So all I can say is, Florio, how do you follow that, and how do you follow the news I just told you?
I don't know how I can. I mean, if Derek says Taker is in St. Louis, that he's going to be then most likely he is going to be at Battleground tomorrow night on the WWE Network. I mean, you think they're going to go nuts when Randy Orton shows up?
Oh, that's going to be nothing compared to when the dead man shows up.
Oh, yes. This fight's not going to end clean. This is not going to end clean. Everybody knows that. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans, heel shenanigans, authority shenanigans, whatever. They're gonna rule the roost here. Taker's gonna show up. There's no doubt about this. Taker's gonna. I mean, there's a very good chance. Well, according to Derek's scenario on his sports blog, he says that he thinks Lesnar's gonna win the belt. Honestly, he thinks Lesnar is actually gonna beat Rollins, win the title, and then Taker's gonna show up, and then Taker's gonna lay him out, and then that's gonna allow Sheamus to come out and cash in Money in the Bank, thus allowing Sheamus to become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So I wouldn't be surprised if any of that happens. In all honesty, I really wouldn't. And but nonetheless, though, I still think it's going to be a great match. It's definitely going to be one of the top 3 fights of the night, probably the second best fight of the night, even with the shenanigans. I think it's going to be like a Monday Night Raw type main event, if I'm being honest with you, mainly because of all the shenanigans. But nonetheless, Undertaker's coming back. There's no doubt about it now, especially after that breaking news that Derek Ferreira just sent Michael Bullock about the Undertaker being in St. Louis. I mean, oh boy, it's clear as day. Taker's showing up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this one, my friends. No ifs, ands, or buts. I mean, Taker is showing up. He's going to take out Lesnar, and it's going to set up the highly anticipated rematch, a year and a half in the making. Taker, Lesnar, the rematch from WrestleMania 30. They're going to do it at SummerSlam, August the 23rd, at the Barclays in Brooklyn. Oof. And I think there's a very realistic chance that they give Taker the win back. I mean, if you haven't seen the photos on Facebook, the photos on social media of the Undertaker, I mean, the man is 50 years old, and he looks incredible. He's been looking in great shape, and if that's any indication, this could be the first time in a very long time that we could have Taker work more than one match in the same calendar year. He doesn't do this often, folks. I mean, just like Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker is a special, must-see attraction. Everybody and their mother knows that. So I have no doubt in my mind. Initially, I was going to have Rollins walk out still the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But I think what's going to happen is I think I can see Derek Ferreira's scenario easily happen. I could easily see Brock Lesnar defeating Seth Rollins, winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and then all of a sudden the lights go out, there's the gong, there's Taker. Taker lays out Lesnar with either a choke slam or a tombstone. Cue Sheamus. Sheamus comes out, briefcase and referee in tow. Sheamus cashes in Money in the Bank. Sheamus becomes the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That's exactly what I think is going to happen. Lesnar's going to beat Rollins, but thanks to Taker taking out Lesnar, setting up the SummerSlam match, Sheamus will be your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion after he successfully cashes in Money in the Bank. You want to elevate the Sheamus heel character? That's a damn good way to do it right there. So what happens when it comes to SummerSlam? Taker and Lesnar, that's really looking very likely now. I've heard Rollins possibly going up against Triple H. Maybe a blood feud with those two. Maybe we could see the major dissension within the Authority. And then maybe a Sting versus Bray Wyatt match. That's on the table. And who would Sheamus defend the title against? Could it be Randy Orton? I don't know. Or could it even be Cena? So many questions, so many scenarios, but we have so very little time to figure that out. I can't really tell you how I see it playing out, but what I can promise you is tomorrow night when we do our Battleground recap show on Michael Fletcher's channel, Braves Fan 95, hopefully we'll slowly but surely have the answers to all the questions that we need to figure out. So give me Lesnar to initially win, but Sheamus to cash in Money in the Bank and walk out the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion after The Undertaker shocks the world and takes out Lesnar. So that'll do it for that. Overall thoughts, expectations. How do we feel Battleground's going to play out come tomorrow night? Well, we all here at the Wrestling Forum, all of us here at the Wrestling Forum have a very vested interest in this show. The first Battleground show in 2013, we don't talk about that. Why? Because that show sucked. Big time. With the exception, however, of that tag team match, that emotionally charged Shakespearean drama-laden tag team match with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins against Cody and Dustin Rhodes. That fight literally saved that show. If it wasn't for that, it would have gone down as one of the all-time worst pay-per-views in the history of it. Last year's Battleground was a little better, but not a whole lot. You remember we had the Usos against Luke Harper and Eric Rowan in that unforgettable 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag team titles, which damn near stole the show. And then you had a solid main event with Cena versus Reigns versus Orton versus Kane, that 4-way for the title. Other than that, all the other matches were rather meh. But let me tell you something. This Battleground right here, I strongly feel is going to be a damn good show. I think we're looking at, my initial rating is I'm going to give this, when all is said and done, we could be looking at an 8 to 8.5 out of 10. Who knows? Maybe even 9 out of 10. Who knows? But I'm gonna play it safe, and I'm gonna go 8 to 8.5 for now. But we have to wait and see how it goes. I mean, the main selling point for this event obviously is Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar. But don't forget John Cena and Kevin Owens. We can't forget about that either. And then let me just say it like this: fight of the night, no doubt about it. It's gonna be Cena Owens 3. That's all there is to it. Rollins Lesnar is going to be the second best fight of the night. Reigns and Wyatt will round out the top 3 as the best 3 fights of the night. And then I would have to say Orton and Sheamus in the 4th spot. And then by default, the worst fight of the night will probably be the tag team title match with the Primetime Players against the New Day. I could see them adding some filler to this show. Maybe a follow-up on that unbelievable Divas/women's angle from last Monday night on Raw, which we all, as of right now, have as our new segment of the year, considering the epicness that took place during that segment with Stephanie and the NXT Divas getting called up. I think we could have either a follow-up to that angle, or maybe we could have ourselves an impromptu women's fight. Very possible. I don't know how they'll do it, considering we have a very short card. And remember, the IC title fight scrapped due to the injury/illness to Ryback. So could we still have a Big Show versus Miz fight? I mean, you could easily make a Big Show versus Miz one-on-one fight. Have it serve a purpose as a come down fight, a cool off fight. I could see that happen. But at the end of the day, though, I think when it comes to the 3-year history of Battleground, there's no question about it. This is going to far and away be the best Battleground show of the 3, far and away. Like I said, Owens Cena 3 is going to be the fight of the night. Rollins Lesnar 2, Reigns Wyatt 3, Orton Sheamus 4. Tag team titles round out by default as the worst fight, even though I don't think it's going to be all that bad. I expect something with the Divas, and maybe a Big Show versus Miz fight. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So my initial thoughts, I'm leaning towards 8 to 8.5, maybe even 9 out of 10 if all goes well. So with that said, Michael Bullock, your overall thoughts and expectations going into this highly anticipated show, which I know you are really looking forward to, especially the main event, and the possibility of your idol, your all-time idol, possibly coming back, or most likely coming back, rather.
Yeah, most likely coming back, especially now with that photo that Derek sent me. But yeah, this pay-per-view Battleground, I think, is definitely going to be the best out of the 3 that we've seen. Of course, the fight of the night obviously going to be John Cena and Kevin Owens. But of course, the one I'm most interested in, of course, Lesnar and Rollins, because of the most likely return of the dead man, the Phenom, the Undertaker, having a little involvement in this. And of course, by default, the worst fight of the night is obviously going to be the tag team title match. The other matches I think are going to be good: Randy Orton and Sheamus, and Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns. And I really hope they can put the Divas in there, especially the NXT Divas that we saw this past Monday Night on Raw is probably one of the best segments of the year no doubt about it. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 8 to 8.5 as well. I'm gonna play it safe with that. And if it does turn out to be really good, I could give it a 9. But right now, it's an 8 to 8.5 out of 10 for me. So that being said, Florio, let's put the bow on this preview show.
Yes, indeed, Michael Bullock will do. That will indeed do it for our WWE Battleground preview edition of the Wrestling Forum. We thank you all so very much for tuning in. I know it was a little late, but thankfully it all worked out in the end. So yeah, let me set the table here. Of course, Battleground will be live on the WWE Network, 8 o'clock Eastern. Well, the kickoff show at 7 o'clock if you're interested. So there's that, and then at 11, immediately following the Battleground pay-per-view event, hop on over to Michael Fletcher's channel, Braves Fan 95, as he will run the show. He'll be the host. Michael Fletcher, myself, Michael Bullock, will all be there. We'll have our thoughts, as we will have our complete recap of Battleground, and we'll definitely start the speculation, and we'll definitely we'll unofficially start the road to SummerSlam. Really looking forward to that. So that's tomorrow night. And then, of course, Monday night, the Wrestling Forum, right back here on my channel here. We'll sort out all the fallout from Battleground on the Monday Night Raw. And then from there, of course, Friday night, Strictly Sports. No docket as of yet, but hopefully come Monday night, Derek will have a docket ready to go, and, we'll set the table for that. So with that said, that'll do it for this. So until tomorrow night for our Battleground recap edition of the Wrestling Forum with Michael Fletcher on his channel, Brace Fan 95. It's ridiculously over Anthony Florio for the Phenom, Michael Bullock, saying, the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune 4 style. Enjoy your Sunday, everybody. And until tomorrow night for our Battleground recap on Fletcher's Brace Fan 95 channel, you've been watching the WWE Battleground 2015 pay-per-view preview edition of the Wrestling Forum right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. And for now, Anthony Florio, so long.